a little something like this. Tag team, back again. Check it, directed, let's begin. Party on, party people, let me hear some noise. DC's in the house, jump, jump, rejoices. There's a party over here, a party over there. Wave your hands in the air, shake the dairy, yeah. These three words mean you're getting busy. Whoop, there it is, hit man. Whoop, there it is. 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 Upside down and inside out. I'm about to show all you folks what it's all about. Now it's time for it to get on the mic and make this motherfucking party hot. I'm taking it back to the old school, cause I'm an old fool who's so cool. If you wanna get down, I'ma show you the way. There it is, let me hear you say. Whoop, there it is. Come on, y'all. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Y'all.
All right, guys, we're gonna get started here in about 2 to 3 minutes. Put your biggest obstacle, the thing that's been holding you back to design the life you want, to create the conversion that you want. Put it into the chat box right now. Give it about another 2 to 3 minutes. Let's go. Point blank, gin and juice I drink and bent as I puff on dank. Rock the mic, I crave skin rip. Find a honey dip to dip it in. Slam dunk it, stick it, flip it and ride that B-double-O-T-Y, oh my. Ooh, that's it, come on, whoop, there it is, I'm done. Whoop, whoop, louder. Whoop, give it to me. Whoop, come on. Whoop, get louder. Whoop, let it hit. Whoop, come on. Whoop, Some say I'm crazy cause I'm pushing up daisies. The underground sound that you have found amazing, outstanding, demanding, commanding you people dancing. That's a breath taker. I produce, aka The Undertaker. You wanna come down to the underground old school? Here's a shovel. Can you dig it, fool? Can you dig it? We can dig it. Can y'all dig it? We can dig it. Can you dig it? All right, guys, 1 more minute. Put your biggest obstacles into the chat box. Let's go. Get rid of all your distractions. 1 more minute. We'll get started.
Can you dig it? We can dig it. Can y'all dig it? W-H-O-O-M-P as I flow to the flight from the school of bowl. Hardcore, keep the folklore wreck. 3 to the 2 and 1 mic check. Mass skill blow ill on the mess of steel. That's the grill of the microphone I just killed. Party people wish your party tag team is through. Whoop, there it is. I thought you knew. Whoop, there it is. 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 Yeah, tag team music coming straight at you. That's me, DC, the brain supreme.
All right, I'm going to stop this share. I'm going to go ahead and actually share my screen again. I want you guys to take 2 minutes to watch this video, then we're going to kick things off. In the meantime, please get rid of all your distractions. Let it be just myself and you for the next 60 minutes. Go ahead and take a look at my screen, and should be rocking and rolling here. All right.
I understand that life can get hard. It can knock you around, and it can even bring you to your knees with circumstances that you don't even have control over. But listen up and listen closely. As you're taking your current breath, somebody is taking their last. And that person is wishing they just had one more day to create experiences. They're wishing they had one more minute to hug the person they love the most. Wishing they could just get to the beach one last time to hear the sound of the ocean or feel the breeze against their skin. Being grateful is not a habit. Being grateful is a lifestyle. And it's being grateful for not just the big things like the cars and houses, but even the small things, the water that comes out of the faucet, the heart that beats 115,000 times a day, that heart that helped you get through the breakup, helped you push through all that fear, helped you when you never thought that you can get through something, or the 2,000 gallons of blood that rushes through your body. Have you ever said thank you to the little things? You must walk in gratitude every single day. It will help you be a better leader, a better father, a better wife, a better husband, a better human. You must look at your life right now, no matter how hard it is, and ask yourself, what am I grateful for? If you're standing up, is it the 2 feet that you're standing on? If you're listening to this right now, is it the ears that you can hear with? Because some people can't. Every day there's something to be grateful for. You must walk intentionally, daily, with gratitude, knowing no matter how bad it is, and no matter how great it is, it's the little things you must be grateful for, the things that you normally forget about. So right now, I want you to intentionally write down the things that you're grateful for, and then reach out to somebody and tell them how much you're grateful for them. Remember, being grateful is not a habit, it's a lifestyle. You must walk in it daily. And you get to choose your thought patterns every single morning. So when you wake up, the first thing you should be doing is grabbing your heart and saying, thank you, heart, for beating and letting me conquer this day. All right, I'm going to stop this share. So that was a video I recorded about, I want to say, a year and a half ago. And for those of you that are brand new to this call, my name is John Marone, and I am the CINC conversion specialist. So we do this every other Monday, and usually it's me. Sometimes, we have Kayla on or Matt on if I'm doing something else. But the reason why I showed you guys that video this morning or today is because it's something that I think we forget about or we overthink. We forget about or overthink. And that is how grateful we truly should be. Now, maybe right now, you're saying, John, what could I be grateful for? I don't have any appointments on the books. Bills are piling up. There's COVID. There's a pandemic. There's all these crazy things going on with the government. How can I be grateful? As I explained in that video, gratitude is something that we need to walk in daily, as it's a lifestyle, not a habit. And so when I think about all the craziness going on, I think about also all the beautiful things that we've overcome, right? Think about that heart beating. Man, how many times did you think that it was going to stop beating when you got broken up with, or the partnership didn't go as planned, or something just devastated you, but yet it kept beating? How many times you say you're grateful for the water that comes out of the faucet because maybe you don't realize that other people don't have that opportunity to take a warm shower every day? And I say all this just to challenge you to walk in gratitude, to speak in gratitude. So I'm going to give you a few tips here. But first off, if that video resonated, if you feel that video and you're ready to make gratitude a lifestyle, or you already do, put it into the chat. Let me see yes. Let me see yes. And somebody said that they couldn't hear the video. Hopefully you guys could all hear it. Let me see yes, yes. Perfect. I'm reading the magic. Yes, implement it into my life. All right, good. I just want to make sure you guys are with me here because, we go over scripting. We go over how to create a conversion rate from, where it's at to 33%. But the only difference is why our scripts, I feel like, are so much more powerful besides going deep into the why, is that we really start to recalibrate the mind, right? So what's the name of the video? Someone says, if you go on my YouTube, John Marone, M-A-R-R-O-N-E. So if you go to youtube.com/John Marone, Johnmarrone, you'll see all my videos on there. That's just one of them. And that one's called How to Be Happy and Grateful. And so, once again, I want to come back to this because I think there's so much going on in the world, and there's a lot of hate going on, right? And a lot of confusion going on. And if we could stay consistent with our gratitude, it's really going to be the thing that helps us get through any season, right? But also helps us be super aware. So I want you to think about what I'm about to tell you right here, right? Because I know there's a lot of hate in the world, but we fight it with love and care. I know there's so much uncertainty in the world. Let's fight it with certainty of yourself, your habits, your values, and your character. I know there's a lot of fear in the world, but let's fight it through faith. Let's fight it through faith. So right now, just as a little challenge, I want you to write down one big thing you're grateful for And one small thing that you're grateful for that maybe you kind of forgot about. In the Q&A, yeah, sorry guys, so the Q&A, not the chat box. Sorry. And yeah, you're not supposed to see my screen only when I shared it. But put down in the Q&A. So sorry about that. That's my fault. Put down in Q&A one thing that you're grateful for that's big, and one thing that's small that maybe you kind of forgot about, from the blood pumping through your veins to the shoes on your feet, for breathing, clean sheets, yes, family, my family, waking up this morning, my health, business, my home, protection that it offers, grateful for my husband, my family, or small things, my health, my son's health, air conditioning. Yep, I've been there without that. Like air conditioning down to the point of even just a fan at some point, right? I've been grateful for my son's health and home to come to, family, new riding lawnmower. That's awesome. Roof over my head, grateful for the ability to put gas in my car. Yeah, can you remember those days where it was so hard to even put gas in your car, or you drive an extra few miles just to save a few cents? I've been there. Right? Biggest thing I'm grateful for is my son. The smallest thing is the simple conversations and company coming over. Yes, education, my home. Small things are AirPods. Right? Definitely small things. It's funny how small things play a bigger role in your daily life than you actually think. So, and thank you guys for participating in that. And here's why I asked you guys to do that, is because we just got to be first self-aware. So I'll give you the way that I do my gratitude every day. Maybe this will help you guys. So I have a strong morning routine, and I feel like my power morning is one of the better ones than most people out there, only because it's been years of struggling and figuring out how to do it, and going through that failure and how to stay consistent. But what I've learned is that the way for me to stay consistent in things is, A, have a strong enough why so your consistency doesn't die, right? Have a strong enough why so your consistency doesn't die. And then B is I make sure I have triggers that set me up for empowering habits. So when I put shampoo in my hair, that is my moment to speak in gratitude. That is my moment to speak in gratitude. But here's a trick, because what I used to do is, and maybe tell me if you guys have felt this before, where you've done something, because can't see my quotes here, but successful people, right? Successful people do it. Oh, I'm doing my gratitude because that's what successful people do. And so when I found myself doing that, I realized I was just checking the box off, but I wasn't doing it and walking through it like I needed to. And so after I do my shampoo, it triggers me to speak in gratitude. And if I can't see whatever I'm grateful for, I'm talking about if it doesn't overwhelm me with joy and blissfulness and a great energy, I simply stop. And I ask myself, how can I be more descriptive, right? How can I, if I'm not seeing my daughter I'm grateful for, how can I get more descriptive about her to where I visualize her? Whatever it is that you're grateful for, I don't want you just to speak it, right? Someone talks about AirPods. Don't just speak it. I want you to visualize you listening to your AirPods and truly being able to have that opportunity, crazy as it sounds, right? Like roof over my head. Don't just say it. Picture you walking into your house and looking up and be like, man, maybe I've never had the opportunity to have a steady roof over my head. My son's health. I want you guys to truly think about this gratitude. Don't just do it, because gratitude needs to build an emotion up, because that will help you get through any season. But most importantly, here's the thing, guys. The more you give, the more you get. I don't do it because of that, but the more you give, the more you get. The more you amplify your gratitude, the more the world will show you opportunities to be grateful. And so I just wanted to go ahead and talk to you about gratitude today, because I think, because the world we live in, it's very easy to fall into the trap of hate and judging and pointing fingers and doing this and doing that. And I think it's time we all stop. We got 100+ people on this call. We all come from different backgrounds, right? We all have different stories, right? We all have dealt with such different pain. And so for us to judge others, let's stop doing that. There's only one thing I think we should be judging, and it's the stuff that people are hiding right now, which is the unfortunate things, obviously, that's going on with some certain people with young kids, there I'll judge. like give me an amen to that if that's that's the one place I will judge. But other than that, I think it just comes down to like, we're trying to fight hate with hate, right? And you can't win fighting hate with hate. You can't win fighting fear with fear. You can't win fighting uncertainty with more uncertainty. So as I said before, those things right there, I think will help you guys guide you through the rest of your days. All right. So if you have any questions on that gratitude morning routine, let me know. You can hit me up on Instagram at @RealJohnMarone. I'm maxed out on my friends list on Facebook. I got to do some digging and delete some people. But you could always follow me on there. So John Marone on Facebook or at @RealJohnMarone on Instagram. Let me know if you have any questions on that, or we could obviously dive into it today. All right, so let's dive into some Q&A here. And then I would like to get some people on here to role play if I could as well. So one person said, I'm overcoming call reluctance and working in an unorganized home office. Stays clean for about 3 days, then becomes a dumping ground as randomly I have to head to an appointment. Okay, so great question. So this person's asking, A, how do I overcome call reluctancy? And then B, how do I work through an unorganized office? The first, let's talk about the one question. Call reluctancy is all fear-based. It's all fear-based. And also, what are you afraid of? Of losing a relationship? Are you fearful of losing a relationship that you haven't even built yet? You can't fall off a floor, right? You can't fall off a floor. You can't lose a relationship you haven't built yet. So what's the fear? Oh, you're going to say something wrong and they hang up on you? So what? Then what? Well, then I'm going to feel bad about myself. Well, why is that? Oh, because they hung up on me and I said something wrong. And then it goes deeper, right? Well, why do you feel like them judging you should play a factor in how the rest of your life looks? And something that Tony Robbins did on a recent UPW is, and I want everybody to do this. It's kind of crazy and silly, but it's funny. The reason why you're having call reluctancy, right? Call reluctance is nothing but a symptom of something else. So he puts one finger on one side of his nose and one finger on the other side of his nose. And then you say your biggest fear out loud, right? Like getting rejected. And hear how stupid and silly that sounds when it comes out like that. And the reason that he did that is to show you how silly it really is to be fearful of something that you should be doing. And so anybody on here has call reluctance. It's all about digging deep into the fear, right? And why do you feel that fear? And then once you uncover that, is realizing that you have two options: to live in fear or live in faith. And it should be all faith-based, that, what you're doing is going to provide the results for your family and somebody that you're trying to help. There's no reason to have call reluctance unless you don't believe that what you're doing is helping others. I'll repeat that. There's no reason to be fearful of calling unless what you truly believe is that what you're doing is not helping others. And if that's the case, go somewhere else to serve people. It wouldn't be real estate. If you know that you're serving people, why would you be fearful to call them? Oh, I'm scared that they're going to judge me. Whatever the case might be, you have to unwind it and realize that fear is simply just going to hold you back from creating any success that you want. So fear is either face everything and rise, or F everything and run. You have to decide that. Now let's go into the other question: is working in an unorganized home office. I'm not going to lie, mine's kind of unorganized right now. And when it's unorganized, here's what emotion comes through me. I feel overwhelmed, a little bit of anxiety, like a weight on my chest. And it's not even like that bad right now. I feel cluttered. And so I always say that proximity is power, right? There's so much power in your proximity. And it's not just about the people and places and things around you, but if your environment is cluttered, there's a very good chance your action is cluttered. If your environment is chaos, there's a very good chance that your life will become chaos. So keeping order is so crucial for the success of your business as well as success of your life. And so what I would suggest is at the end of every day, have a 20-minute cleanup. That's it. Simple as that. Hey, look, if you dump things because you head to an appointment, cool, dump things. But no, at the end of your day, you have 20 minutes time blocked that you clean up. And the law of diminishing intent is something that I just spoke about on my podcast. Podcast is Power of Progression.
I talked about how to stop procrastinating and letting the law of diminishing intent to take you away from your future. And it's a great way to kind of position it here, because have you ever put like a few things on your desk? It's not bad, but then a few more things, then a few more things. And the more you look at it, the more you procrastinate in cleaning it. So I don't like the law of diminishing intent to take me away from my success. So if I see something and it's cluttered or it needs to get done, I do my best to my ability to get it done first, right? And just get it done. So Eat the Frog's a great way to do it. I've given away some of my must crush it sheets on these calls before. And so on the must crush list, it asks you, is there something that you've been putting off that you need to do? And sometimes it's simple, just cleaning up the office. And so if you ask yourself daily, what I've been putting off, because you knew day 2 it needed to be cleaned. You know, day 3 it needed to be cleaned. But if you just ask yourself better questions, you get better results. Anonymous attendee, let me know if that helped you. I'm going to cruise down here. All right, cruising down to the bottom. All right, so you got some more questions. Like I said, guys, put them into the Q&A. Put them into the Q&A. Let's go. Call reluctancy. What's more scary, having a bad phone call or missing payments going hungry? That's right. Absolutely. Call reluctancy. I'm afraid of not being able to have comeback questions. The fear of sounding stupid and not capable of helping them. And Mary, I thank you so much for that, because I think that's the biggest thing with call reluctancy is like, that's how people feel. Oh, I'm not going to know what to say if they say something. Do you know, Mary, how to have a conversation with somebody? Yes, I do. Okay. Do you know if someone asks you a question that you don't have an answer to, how to respond with, I don't know that, but let me find out for you? Yes, you do. And so this being afraid you're not going to be able to answer a question sounding stupid, not capable of helping them, just comes back to the inner fear of being rejected and being judged. That's it. And here's what's probably happening. Anybody that has a fear of being judged by others, you are judging others. A, you're probably judging others. And then B, you're judging yourself worse than anybody else would. So if you have this fear of being judged by others, and that's what's stopping you from calling, you are A, probably judging others as it is. You are. And then B, you're judging yourself way too much. So you must write this down. Release judgment in all areas of life. Release judgment in all areas of life. Because once you do that, there's not that much of fear of like sounding stupid. Okay. Look, I just said must crush list and I said it wrong 4 times. Something I created. It's okay. You're called human, right? And it's called being imperfect, which creates influence, impact. So stop trying to chase perfection, chase progression. Mary, everybody has this fear and you want to be perfect. Stop chasing perfection and start chasing progression. Because remember, imperfection creates impact and influence, not perfection. Nobody wants to work with somebody that's perfect. They don't. As much as you may think they do, they don't. So imperfection creates impact and influence, and that's what you're trying to do on these calls. Does that help? Someone says, what is your why? What are some suggestions to help me uncover mine? So my why, there's 2 things. One, I have momentary whys. Momentary whys could be to make X amount of dollars to pay off something so that the stress is relieved and I can go ahead and not have to deal with that weighing on my shoulders in every action I take. Then you have the big why of like creating the ultimate version of me and my family. So we could take full advantage of this thing called life that we have a one shot at and provide ourselves with the most incredible experience here on this earth while delivering it back to others and creating that for their families. And so I can go deeper and deeper and deeper. But one thing to help me with this is I have a meditation that I go through. And then I now walk people through that meditation. But I just sat in there and started asking myself different questions. If you want that meditative song, just shoot me something on Instagram at Real John Marone. And I'll send you the song I used and kind of give you a quick little process. All right, someone else said, when you call initially, first contact, what do you suggest saying? I'm going to get into that in a second because I don't care if it's the first call or it's the last call. When they pick up, it's always the same unless it's a follow-up. So let me pull this up here. I'll pull up my my opening line so you guys could see it as well. Come in. Hold on. Right. Okay. So give me a second here. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So the opening line goes like this. And remember, this is if you've never talked to them, but I don't care if they've been in your system for 1 day or 1,000 days. It says, hey, this is John with the home search site. I know you're looking at homes over in Dallas. Just curious. Looking to make a move in the next 3 to 6 months? Or are you just browsing? Now, you could also say, instead of 3 to 6 months, you could say, just curious. Are you looking to make a move in the next few months? Or are you just browsing? Hear my tonality, right? Hear my tonality. Hey, this is John with the home search site. Quick pause. I know you're looking over in Dallas at some homes. Just curious, looking to make a move in the next 3 to 6 months, or you just browsing? I'm just browsing. Perfect. Exactly what the site is for. So while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? Oh, I'm looking for something bigger. Let's just say they go that route. Then I say, interesting. Something bigger. Tell me more about your current situation. All right. See down here? Tell me more about your current situation. And then they're going to drop bait bombs. I'm sitting in a 2-bedroom condo right now. We have 2 children and 1 on the way, and we're just really crammed. And I'm going to hear it. I'm going to listen to understand, not listen to respond. Listen to understand, not listen to respond. I'm going to say, all right, so you're in a 2-bedroom condo right now, and you're crammed. I totally get it. So you said that you're having another child. When is the baby due? Due in about 4 months. What did I just hear? All because I asked when the baby is due, he told me when. Basically, they're looking to move, right? Very good chance they're looking to move before that. If not right after that, but more likely probably before that. And so I took information and I extracted it to build conversation. Then I'll come back and I'll say, okay, interesting. So how many bedrooms do you want? We'll probably need 4. Okay, and why is 4 so important to you? So I could have 1, the 2 kids could have their own, and I would love an office. So you don't have an office right now? No, I don't. Man, okay. Tell me more about what you do. Now I'm going to talk about business, talking about his work. I'm having a conversation, but I'm staying directly in the what 3 whys deep. I am finding out if there's any pain or pleasure in the bedrooms, in the location, in the size of the house, size of the yard, bathrooms. You must unravel and unveil their pain or pleasure because we are emotionally driven creatures. And so if you just want to be an order taker, you can go to Applebee's, right? Most agents are order takers. They're glorified Applebee's servers. How many bedrooms? 3? Awesome. How many bath? 2? What this allows you to do, guys, this opening line allows you to create a massive rapport in a non-fearful way and be able to have them open up to you for you to find their true motivation. Their motivation isn't getting a bigger house. His motivation is that there's massive stress on him right now, and they're on top of each other with 2 current kids and 1 on the way, and he needs space to create and release this tension and create a better home environment, creating a better work environment, creating a better relationship. Hear what I'm saying? Like, it's all relative to how deep can you go on every single what question. Do not keep skipping from what to what. How many bedrooms? 4. Interesting. Okay. So 4 bedrooms. And why is that important? Oh, because, we only have 2 right now, like another one. Okay. And how many bath? Stay there. Stay there. We got to dig for that pain or pleasure. We have to dig for that pain or pleasure. So I just stopped it there because I want to come back and see if anybody has questions. I can't pull it up when I'm sharing my screen. Hopefully that helped. Let's see. Evelyn says, not so much about making a call, but how to deal with leads in a few situations. Not sure what that one means. How do you release judgment in all areas of life? I agree with you. I judge everything. And Mary, once again, thanks for the vulnerability. That comes back to first understanding that you don't understand everybody, and you won't. That's the first thing. How do I release judgment in all areas? I first have to release judgment on myself. I get it. I've made mistakes. I need to go back and visit that. And so through stillness and meditative practice, I go back and visit the mistakes I've made. Guys, I've made a lot of mistakes, probably more than you. And so going back and revisiting that, and because I have to accept and love myself, and in order to do that, I have to go back to those situations. Then I go ahead and face them and then release judgment. That happened, and I'm creating a new version of me, and I'm becoming better every day. And so once I go through that process, then I can look at everybody and say, I don't know their story. How can I judge without knowing their story? Because of what you see, of what you hear, you don't know how they grew up. Most of the times, people act in a way that's inherited to them. People act in a way that their mother and their father acted, and then their mother and father. So they inherited these beliefs, never being able to go through their own process to create their own beliefs. So who are you to judge? Right? Hopefully that helped, Mary. Kevin says, keeping it tangible. It's also preparation. Yeah, buddy. If you use the scripts and live them, practice them and own them, fear and rejection goes away. I've done that, started by reading, and then with time and exploration, and practice and coaching, it becomes you and your DNA. Kevin, man, thank you. So here's what Kevin's saying. I agree 1,000,000%. You want to also overcome that fear. It takes confidence. And how do you get confidence? Right? You practice, you role play. You want to increase your pay, increase your role play. You want to increase your pay, increase your role play. And so I want you to know, like, there's so many of you that are acting like, okay, I'm gonna get on the phone and I'm gonna close all these deals. I have all these goals, but yet you're not willing to put in at least 15 minutes a day of practice. You would never have a champion in any sport disregard practice. They're a champion because of practice, right? They're a champion because of practice. So you, dealing with somebody's biggest transaction in their life, you can't ignore the biggest thing that can move you forward in a script, which is practicing it. It's becoming one with it. As Kevin says, make it part of your DNA. Make it your own. Create it as your own flavor. Like, once you master it and you know it, then that's when things get fun. And also with scripts, embody the message, not the script. And now it's very hard to embody a message of a script that all they do is ask for their what and their when. You can't embody that message. Get more details on what they're looking for? No. The what's will always change. The why won't. The what's will always change. The why won't. And so you got to practice over and over and over again. And so this way, you can embody that message and utilize your tonality and your pauses and your flow of your conversation to benefit you and the person you're trying to help. Someone said law of diminishing intent. What's that? The law of diminishing intent is the longer you wait to do something, the less likely you are to do it. Maybe it's cleaning your office. Maybe it's doing the dishes. Maybe it's losing weight. Maybe it's hiring somebody to help you with something. Maybe it's investing in yourself. The longer you wait, the less likely you are to do it. Let's see, a few questions. Not about making calls, but coding them. To how to deal with a call. I'm just absolutely has an agent, gives a bad number, doesn't reply to emails, but is constantly on the site. Okay, so kind of, it's a little bit messed up, this message that came in, Evelyn, but I think I got you. So this person has an agent. First, stop asking if they have an agent. I hope that you're stopping that already. You've been on enough of these calls. You know I tell you not to do that. Now, if they come out and they say they have an agent, say, oh, totally get it. Hey, let me ask you this, Evelyn. If I were to find you some off-market properties that matched everything you wanted, that just checked off all the boxes, do you want me to send that to you? Yeah, for sure. Send it to me. All right, perfect. So I'm not sending you useless emails. We all get enough of them. What are you looking for? How many bedrooms? 4. Interesting. Okay, well, I put this in there. Tell me, why is 4 bedrooms important to you? And I'm going right back into the script. So that's number 1. Hopefully that answered that question on how to deal with somebody that says they have an agent. They give a bad number, reply to emails, but it's constantly on the site. Simple. Just continually email them and email them with something of value all the time. And then also email them trying to get them on the phone. Hey, the next step in the process is simply we jump on a quick call so that we can go ahead and show you our strategy on how to make your home buying process simple, effective, and efficient, and get you into the home of your dreams faster and for less money. When would you like to speak? Tuesday or Thursday? Right? So if they're only emailing, that means they're still there. So let's email value and email them to try to get them on a call. How do you filter your calls for the next day? I just going through the P&F filters. Would we get a copy of this? If we should be, just hit up training at cincpro.com and you can get a copy of it for sure. So that we can, it should be on your help desk, but just email in about 24 hours and we'll send it to you. Mercedes, what's up, girl? Mercedes is on. Can you share when to send videos? I am shy about sending them. Girl, you are not shy. When to send videos, you know, I love to send videos right after I talk to somebody, another level of engagement. And then secondly, if like I'm not getting in touch with somebody, just send a video right away, right? Like if the first 21 days you're not getting in touch with them, send it to them. Now, I'd beta test this. Hear me out. I would try it after the first call. If they didn't pick up, and then another call. So I would do 3 calls in the first 24 hours. If they don't pick up, then send a video. Then beta test 14 days. Let's see what those people look like, right? Let's see if there's a better response in that first 3 days versus the 14 days. I don't have the exact answer for you. So what I always do is know what works to a certain extent and then just kind of play with it and track it and see what's going to be best. Does that help, Mercedes? So send it after your first 3 calls. That doesn't mean stop calling, by the way. Set up maybe like 10 people like that, 15, 20 maybe at most. Then another 10 to 20 people of doing it after 14 days of calling. And track them good. Track them good. Where can we find these scripts? If you ever came to a conversion day, then you get these scripts. But if not, just realjohnmarone.com or just Real John Marone on Instagram, and I could send it to you. Once again, Real John Marone, I could send it to you. But usually we like for you to come to the training because the scripts are great, but it's all about the process before you even get into the scripts that really makes it so beneficial. All right, so objections. Let's see. Boop, boop, boop. Sorry, I'm already working with an agent. So there you go. That's another one. Another one is I have a friend or family member who's an agent. This one gets, you got to be okay with asking awkward questions, right? So if they say, I have a friend or family who's an agent, say, oh, okay, awesome. Hey, can I ask you something? The only reason why I'm asking this is because we see it a lot. Are you possibly okay with your relationship kind of getting maybe a little tense, a little turmoil if it doesn't work out that well as far as the transaction? Well, no, I don't want to go that route, but I feel like I have to use them. And so that's what we found. Most people feel like they have to use them, but I'm sure you and your cousin, your friend would both agree that a transaction isn't more important than your relationship. And in order to save that relationship, a lot of times what we do is we actually have a program for that where we'll give your friend, your cousin, whatever it is, 25% referral fee. Then they get put into our referral network so they continually get referrals from us. And you don't have to worry about causing any kind of tension in the relationship. Do you want to hear more about that? Right. So I have a friend, family member. I'm asking, are they okay with causing turmoil in their relationship or tension? No, I'm not. I'm sure you and your friend would both agree that a transaction is not more important than a relationship. That's why we have this program. They get 25% for referring you to us, and they get on our referral program. How's that sound? I'd like to hear more about that. Perfect. Then Ellen says, how much do you charge? I don't charge anything. I'll tell you about our strategy when I see you. You don't charge anything, right? It's just a part of the process. So seller objection, how much do I charge? I don't charge anything. If you're making more money than you put out, are you actually charging anything? Like, is there an actual investment? The whole point is if they say, how much do you charge? Is that means you haven't added enough value in that conversation. They ask how much you charge, value was not articulated. Let's see. And one day, make myself connect to 30 in my database leads. And my last calls are so much smoother than the first calls. I think it's because I'm getting warmer and more confident. Yeah. And here's a tip for you guys. If you guys set goals before your call sessions, put it this way. If you're not setting goals before your call sessions, that's the first issue. You should all have goals before you make these dials. Number 2 is that I honestly don't want you setting a 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day call goal. The goal is to get them on as an appointment. And our mind subconsciously, if we know our goal is to call, let's say for 2 hours or call 30 leads, what happens is we don't push to set the appointment. We don't push to overcome an objection like we normally would if we were focusing on 2 appointments. Oh, but relationships, they turn into sales. Absolutely they do. But you can't even get past objections to build a relationship most of the time. So if you're setting goals, which you all should be before every call session, it should be a number of appointments goal. You will start to train your subconscious mind to look for opportunities to close that deal, to set the appointment, versus your subconscious mind being like, oh, that's one person we talked to today. That's part of the goal. No. I don't care if you call for 2 hours and you set 0 appointments. That's not, what is that doing for you? The goal is to set the appointment. So let's A, set appointment goals, and B, have them in front of you at all times. Someone says, what is the video? So we have video text. And if you have any questions on that, support at cincpro.com. They could help you. Let's see. Do you suggest using a generic video to send to leads? Is it just a quick self-intro? Ashton, I would send one-off videos. It doesn't take that long. Let's just say it takes you a minute and you do it for 30 leads, half hour to send an actual 1 minute video. And it's actually, you can't even send a 1 minute video. I think it's like 20 seconds right now. So it's going to take you a lot less time. Just have your script ready and to go, right? Just kind of keep it the same. Just change the name. It's crazy the stats they did on people sending the same exact video and one using a name, one not using a name, the difference in the response rate. So use their name. Let's see what else. Real John Marone. No, so it's at Real John Marone, and Marone is Marrone. Marrone. That's on my Instagram. Here's an objection we got. What do you do different versus other agents? And so this comes back to you haven't added enough value. Nobody necessarily is going to ask me that right away unless I haven't added enough value and I'm coming in timid. If I come to you with complete conviction and confidence that I can create a solution to your problem, I'm not going to say that. But there's the flip side of it. What do you do differently than other agents? That's a great question. So let me ask you this. How many agents have you talked to so far? I talked to 2. Okay. And out of the 2 people you spoke to, do they truly know and understand your problem? I'm talking about deep-rooted problem. Not how many bedrooms, not how many baths, but do they truly know your problem and why you really want to move? And so the reason why I ask you that is because we pride ourselves on finding a true solution to your problem. And so what we do differently is we ask the right questions to figure out what is truly the thing you're trying to solve and what is going to be the best option for you. And then you tie it into our win strategy, how to win any home. And that's why we're different, because we truly know your pain or pleasure, we truly know your problem, and we have the solution, and we have the right strategy to get you there. Does that help? Once again, if they're asking you this, it's probably because you have added enough value. But I always go back to, hey, 86% of home buyers do not think their agent understands their problem. And so what we do better than anybody is we ask the right questions to find out the true problem, then deliver the real solution. What else we got, guys? We got about 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so. Go ahead and drop your biggest obstacle, objection, handler, whatever it might be, into the Q&A. Drop it in there, drop it in there. And I've had some people ask me what my podcast is as well. It's Power of Progression. So if you guys checking out podcasts, Power of Progression, I have some guests on there like Eric Thomas and Trent Shelton and Lisa Bilyeu and a bunch of other great guests. And I do single shows as well. COVID situation. Thank you, Andrew. This is a good one. So if someone says, hey, I'm just waiting for this whole COVID thing, pandemic to end, I put my hands up, and they don't obviously need to see it, but it helps me in my tonality and say, oh, I totally get it, Andrew. Hey, let me ask you this. Before all this happened, hear what I did. I elongated the word before all this happened. Tell me, what was the goal? What was the plan? I don't want to ask them after all this happens, because all that is uncertainty. And with uncertainty comes uncertain minds. It comes lack of action and lack of clarity. So I always bring it back as what was the goal before all this? Well, I was going to get into a bigger house because we're building our family and da-da-da-da. Okay, awesome. So tell me about your current situation. And I'm going to keep going in. And then if he's like, hey, I still want to wait till after all this is done, say, totally get it. What's the reasoning? Oh, I just don't know what's going to happen. Absolutely. So if we were to find you that 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, I got you closer to work so you can spend 8 more hours a week with your family, building memories and eating dinner with your family and actually putting your kids to bed. Would you wait till after COVID to get that? Or would you want to take a look at it sooner? I'd probably want to look at it sooner. Okay. Okay, why people hung up when you say something and just hung up? What? Why people hung up why people hang up when you say something and just that hang up? I think you're just asking why people hang up. They hang up because your opening line's not good. They hang up because you're not confident. They hang up because maybe they're just not ready and they're willing to even hear the next sentence. Multiple reasons. But how can you control that situation is, are you calling with the best opening line, the one we just gave you? Are you calling with complete conviction and confidence and tonality? Or are you calling with timidness, fear? Are you calling with the uncertain, I don't know what they're going to say, and I'm scared that they say something wrong? Because you can give me someone that's confident, has no skill, and someone that's not confident and has skill, and I'll take the person with more confidence and no skill every day of the week. Every day of the week. So that just goes back to your opening line needs to be done correctly with energy, enthusiasm, and doing it with complete conviction and confidence. I promise you, if you use our opening line and you do it with no confidence, no conviction, it won't work. It won't work, and neither will anything else. It doesn't matter the script if you're not saying it with confidence. Biggest bottleneck right now is getting a buyer pre-qualified. Why is that a bottleneck right now? Are they not getting qualified? Are they not connecting with the lender? Also, what is your process when they don't qualify? So I just have a few of those questions, and let me know. We can go from there. What to do or say when they open a door, and what to bring with me. Are you talking about listing? Or are you talking about buyer? So if you're asking about a listing, so introduce yourself and say, so who's going to give me the grand tour? And the person who gives you the grand tour is a person that more than likely is going to be more of a decision maker. Also, when you're going through the house, you must look at the pictures in a house. You must look at the common themes in a house to build rapport off of that. And what you bring with you is your smart home buying or your smart selling strategy, whether it's on a piece of paper, whether it's a PDF, or it's on an iPad. If you don't have one, please create one. Tish says, I don't think I'm aggressive enough. Can you recommend any how to make a sale books? So, and that's a good question, right? Like, I'm not aggressive enough. Aggressive comes from being confident. And then it's not aggressive, right? It's just confidence and conviction. I have confidence and conviction that you use our script, you come to a conversion day, we'll increase your conversion rate tremendously. Put me up against anybody. Why do I say that? Because we've had 3 years and 6,000 agents come through our course, use the scripts, go through the training, do the things that we're teaching you guys here, obviously at a much deeper level, and 33% conversion rate has been the same for the last 3 years. So if you're not aggressive enough, it just means that you're not confident enough. But if you want some good books, Go for No is a great book. Go for No is a great book. Fanatical Prospecting is another one. And The Ultimate Sales Machine. And then another one, I haven't read it yet, but I watched some of his videos, and a buddy of mine interviewed him, and a lot of my friends have read the book, is the negotiating one. Hold on. I'll have to find it for you, but it's a book on negotiate. Oh, that's it. Can't Split the Difference, or Don't Split the Difference. Something like that. You'll definitely see it. But I heard that's a really good book too. His stuff's pretty good online. But yeah, when you're not aggressive, quote unquote, it means that you're not confident enough. You're not confident enough because you haven't built the skill set and the mindset to go into any situation. Uncertainty with income and COVID will need to wait. Okay. No, I totally get it. Right? Oh, I totally get it. Let me ask you this. What was the goal before all this, though? Like, take income out of this as far as uncertainty. What was the goal? Why did you move? Like, want to move? So Mercedes, great question. If they say, I just don't know what my income is going to look like after COVID, I would simply come back to, why are you moving? Right, why are you moving? Look, whether they're renting or they're buying, they're going to have to go ahead and have a house, correct? If they're renting or they're buying, they're going to have a house. And I get it, their income's unknown, and it being a house that they're buying, then it's going to be more scarier. Absolutely. But let's get down to the reason why you want to move. There's uncertainty with my income every single day. There's uncertainty with your income every single day. It's called the world that we live in. You don't know what's next. So if you keep looking for the future, the past you'll ask the past if this is true. And so just stay with coming back to prior. Andrew says, I've had a lot of people saying they're waiting to hear what their job is going to do, and they're going to allow stay-at-home workers for everyone to come in. Yeah, once again, Andrew and Mercedes, great points about the income. It's just, what was the goal before all this? What was it before all this? If we can get them confidence that the reasoning and the why is still strong, then we can come in at a better angle. And also when you do that, even if they are going to wait, they're going to want to work with you because you've finessed them. Like, you put them through 12 rounds of digging deep into their why. So you've built a way better relationship versus just letting them go and say, okay, call me when this is over. Right? Jenny says, what is the example of good opening line? So I put it up there before, Jenny. I was going to put it up again. It's like, so the opening line is, hey, this is John with a home search site. I know you're looking over in Dallas at some homes. Just curious, looking to make a move in the next 3 to 6 months, or just browsing? I'm just browsing. Perfect. Exactly what the site is for. So while I have you, what's prompting you to browse? Hopefully that helped, Jenny, but it was up before on the screen. You might have missed that one. Objection. We're actually going to work with a discount broker to sell our house. So this is on the buy side, guys. This is mainly a buyer call, but I'll touch on some seller stuff. I was just browsing other homes to see the competition. All right, so we're actually going to work with a discount broker to sell our house. No, hey, look, I get that. Hey, what's the whole reason why you're looking to sell? Because why? How come we're going to work with somebody at a 1.5 versus a 3? Well, they're going to save me money. So let me ask you this: if they're doing it for 1.5, where do you think that they're going to cut some ends? Where would they take shortcuts, do you think? What do you mean? Well, if somebody is doing it for 1.5, they're gonna have to take shortcuts, right? Like, where do you think that would be for them? You think it'd be like in their marketing, or maybe in their staging, maybe in their pictures? No, they said they're gonna do everything. Okay. Hey, look, what we found is if you're doing a 1.5%, you can't sustain a healthy business off of that. So they have to cut corners. I'm not saying they're doing it. I'm just saying they have to cut corners. What would I would tell you if, like, yeah, you paid us 3% or 4%, but we'll show you how to make more money than a 1.5. Would that be something you'd be interested in? So I would show you how to make more money off of your home than a 1.5. Would that be something you're interested in? Because what's the goal here? Right, Mr. Seller, what's the goal? Is the goal to get a 1.5 commission from an agent, or is the goal to make as much money as possible and sell it in the right time? Is the goal to make as much money as possible, net profit, off of this home, or is it strictly to get somebody to do it for 1.5? Well, it's to get as much money as possible. Yeah, but I would hope so. So once again, where do you think they're cutting corners? And so what we do is we pride ourselves on doing 4% because of all the marketing we do, because of all the staging we do, because of the pictures we do, and then our negotiating as well. Would you like to hear more about our strategy and how we can make you more money than the normal 1.5 flat rate broker model? And then you could also say, did you hear the word discount in there? All right, discount. If they're discounting their commission, do you think they're discounting their efforts to get it sold? So hopefully that helped. Did that help? Let me know if that helped. Got a few more questions in here. We got 5 minutes. I'm just going to scroll through some. Okay, so Angel, thank you so much. So buyers are warned, transfer to a mortgage lender, then they aren't getting qualified or they fall off after the first call. Angel, meet with them. Do not send them to a lender unless you're there with the lender. Build the rapport. Don't put your future and your income in somebody else's hands. Get them warm. Yep. Then if it's a warm transfer, if it's a warm handoff, that's fine right there. But make sure you get that value in there. Because you want to tie it back to where you've added so much value on that call that even if they're not pre-qualified, that they're going to at least have a conversation with you. How do you handle when it comes to customers make an inquiry about a property and you respond to them, they don't answer back? Just keep calling. That's it, Julie. I just keep calling. When and where is the next conversion day? We just had one in Phoenix. The next ones I know of is that we're going to be in Asheville, South Carolina, in September. As of right now, that's still happening. And then Houston in November. And I think California in November, but that all obviously depends. Let's see. What's the name of the first book? Go for No. Let's see. Sorry, anonymous objection. Sorry, I don't do business over the phone with people I don't know. Have a nice day. Say, okay, that's exactly why I'm calling, so you can get to know me, and then we could do business not over the phone. And they hang up on you? Keep them in your pipeline. Keep calling. Next. All right, on to the next one. Next. But they say, I don't do business with people over the phone that I don't know. Well, that's exactly why I'm calling, to talk to you and get to know you before we even do business together. I'm not asking you to do business with me. I'm asking you to get to know me and for me to get to know you and see if it's worth doing business together. Does that make sense? Let's see what else we got here. This is CINC and Conversion Day training in Atlanta in August. No conversion in August in Atlanta. We have like the 3 hours of conversion, but it's not a conversion day, Thomas. So we got I think Doug will be doing it. So it's like 3 hours of conversion, but it's not the conversion day with the games and things of that nature. Where do we find the scripts? Once again, guys, if you want to message me on Instagram at Real John Marone, Marrone, or you can go ahead and reach out to support at cincpro.com. Most of the times we don't give them out unless you've come to a training, but because of the situation, we are kind of giving them out on a one-off basis. So we're about wrapped up here. Before we wrap up, if you need anything, please reach out and let me know. Once again, you hit me up on Instagram, go on my podcast. You can go on CINC, john.marone at cincpro.com. Reach out, utilize this as a resource. Number 2 is if you guys want to come to a live event, cincommunity.com. Go check it out. We got live events coming up for the rest of the year. We just left Phoenix last week. Number 3 is I want to know some of your takeaways. So I love doing this part because I get to see what landed, and we can go ahead and continue to hit on certain things. So in the Q&A, just give me a few takeaways that you guys had, and we can go ahead and kind of end that way. And also sometimes your takeaways will create opportunities for other people to see them. So what were some of your takeaways today? Coming to Florida at all? I live in Destin. We did Orlando, by the way, in January. Put your biggest takeaways in the Q&A, and let's see what you guys took away from today. Come on, drop them in. I think they're coming in on top. Drop them in Oh, that's all. It's got that. Let's say they're coming in, but they're coming in all different. Always go back to the why. The goal is to make an appointment, not just breeze through the calls. Confidence is key. I like the 3 whys for every what. The initial script is great. Mine vary too much. Yeah, keep it simple. Success is in simplicity. Dig deep. Great call, John. Thank you so much. Ty Cook. Thanks, Ty. Appreciate it, man. Stop chasing perfection. Just chase progression. What else we got? Anything else? Anybody have any other takeaways? Put them in there. Put them in there. Put them in there. Spell your last name. Okay. M-A-R-R-O-N-E. M-A-R-R-O-N-E. Stay consistent. Be okay with awkward questions. Actually, fall in love with awkward questions. You can't fall off the floor. Yep. Be confident and aggressive, but friendly and helpful. Yeah. Remember, aggressiveness comes from being confident and having conviction that what you're doing is going to help them. That's it. Tone, and confidence and competence. Love that. Set goals before calling. Continue in the conversion or conversation. I love it. Awesome, guys. Hey, look, I appreciate every single one of you guys jumping on this call today. Someone says, I can't find you on Instagram. I'm there. Real John Marone. RealJohnMarrone. I'm on there. There was a fake John Marone that stole my identity last week, but we got rid of him. But for real, guys, I appreciate you so much. You guys jumping on this call, it means a lot, and talked about on that video that I shared you from my YouTube, when I talked about, look, be grateful. And I gave you guys the tips on not only how to be grateful, but how to create a strategy on feeling that gratitude. And the other thing I said on there was reach out to somebody today and let them know that you're grateful for them. So here's me reaching out to you and telling you guys that I'm grateful that you took the time out to better yourself today by being on this call. And I'm grateful that you're doing that for you and your family's future. So thank you so much, guys. Super grateful for you. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Otherwise, keep crushing it. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.